right, guys. We are live. We are live. I'm not as ready as I normally am, but we are live here. I'm gonna go ahead and while we're waiting for some people, everybody to be notified, I'm gonna go ahead and add something I'm gonna share here on my end. So just bear with me here. I appreciate everybody coming out. Um, and I'll get started here in just a moment. Kind of doing an ad hoc thing here, coming home from a trip up north. I'll get into that in just a second. Um, but I wanted to share that with you. So let me go ahead and put up something here. Just so we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay. All right. I'm not ready to show that yet, but I will shortly. Okay, guys. It's Tuesday night, 7:30. I had originally planned on having Eddie Dees in here on tonight. Something has come up on his end, so I won't be able to have that. Unfortunately, but that's okay. He is going to be here this weekend. A lot of people they've got other schedules and maybe they didn't anyway. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that. But basically, he just wasn't available for my time slot, and I wasn't prepared to move the time slot or record them or anything like that. So I've got too many other things. I know it looks a little normal behind my chair here, but I still haven't moved my box of bags since last week. Okay, I was up north from Friday to yesterday through yesterday. Some of you guys may know or may not know I have a Dalmatian named Cash. The name comes from I'm a big Richie Rich fan from the 80s version, Richie Rich. And so much so that I thought about licensing the character to make product, but I haven't gotten that far. But anyway, I took my dog was just he had some issues with his ear and stuff, and my sister is a vet tech, and I wanted him to get the best care possible. So I took him, and he's staying at my sister's. So I've made a couple trips up there to visit him and visit my family and stuff that I'm from. So that's kind of where I'm a little bit behind where I normally would be, but it's okay. We've done this show before, and I have everything pretty much set up. Although what I want to put across is, Pam will be back. Our friends Margaret Less and Mike will be there this weekend. We're gonna have Shellhead Toys is gonna be there. I got to go to their page and look up what they're bringing, and of course, CM Bunting, who was on with us last week, will be there. And unfortunately, Jennifer will not. Sorry, but she's gonna be back for Jacksonville and Daytona. So we're looking forward to having her there. Okay. So again, just no Eddie tonight, unfortunately, but I'm going to talk about some other things that you guys are probably interested in, which I did highlight a little bit last week. A lot happened in the last week, and you guys probably saw me. So what I want to emphasize here is that we do have our show this weekend. This is the sixth anniversary of Florida Toy Shows, guys. So this is always a big deal for me. This show, this is where we started back in 2019, and we've certainly come a long way. And one of the things that I want to show you guys is, we started out in a 2,500 square foot space, little space. It was a let's see, not a Lions Club. It was something like that. No, No, it wasn't a VFW. But anyway, it's over. It's now a doctor's office. No, it was not. It anyway. It was like a Shriners or something like that. Sorry, I'm just not remembering. It was a while ago, but I remember the show. I remember the show. Margaret was there, and a few other people were there. I think Mark Moriarty, or no, Mark Moriarty was not there. Mark Draven, and Johnny Fletcher was there. So anyway, Knights of Columbus. That's right, Mike Customs. Thank you. Aha. All right. So we started out there, and that was crazy. And then obviously we had COVID, where we're the only ones doing shows. And cool. Oh, excited to attend event. Just a few more days until September 6th. Oh yes, that's going to be Fort Myers show. Yes, and I'm still looking for vendors for that. So if you guys, I might be setting up myself if I don't find the right stuff. So we're gonna have some amazing vendors. I know, and I appreciate everybody that signed up. But what I want to do is, and then we've got these great guests, which I'll go over. The only one I haven't talked to, I mean, I talked to the agent, but I haven't talked to him personally, is the comic guy here. But so he'll be kind of new. And of course, we will have Andre there, Rugi, from South Florida. Some of these guys come from all over the state to be at our show. So I want to just show you guys, though, one of the things that's different about our show this week. I just come up with this real quick. So our normal RP funding show is this yellow space over here, okay, on the right hand side. Normally we'll have a air wall that cuts this off, and we don't use this space in the green. Okay. However, where we're at now is I about a couple weeks ago, I talked to our friends at RP Funding, and I added this green space. So basically there's no air wall here. Now that adds, so this area here is about 15,000 square feet. To put that in perspective, this yellow area, gold area, is about the size of it's supposed to be the size of the fairgrounds, the smaller space, but it's about 3 times the size of the Kissimmee room that we use. This normal gold space. The green space is another 10,000. So this is 15,000. This is another 10,000. So now we're using basically the whole room here. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'll be sharing your pictures probably tomorrow. And then yeah, I got you there. I got to make sure I got you in the Fort Myers. I believe I do, though. Just not looking at the map. But so anyway, this green area is the new space that we've added. Now you see, I kind of tried to hide some things, making it smaller and everything, but I'm sure you maybe can read. This isn't the final map. It is the layout, though. Okay, and then and you'll see at the back here, I've got some open space for our friends at the Ghostbusters, and the Ghostbusters, and competing against. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, the Ghostbusters and Star Wars guys are in the back here. I've left some space open back there, and then I've got Mark. You may end up having more space. I don't know, because I might move you around. Well, I can talk about that later. But anyway, we've had a bunch of people. I probably added in the last, because I had a little bit more. You see here the different colors here. That's a representation for my end of what who's where. And then but so basically I'm going to be filling this in a little bit more. We had more people sign up at the end, because I just added this a couple weeks ago, so I had to hustle and add these things. So we definitely we added more space here. So now the show is going to be 25,000 square feet, which which is actually really big. I mean, for our show. Okay. To put it in perspective, if you went to well, I don't know, do I want to say that or not? Anyway, there's a show up north. Okay. And I'm gonna guess it's about 30,000. So we're in that range. It's a bigger show. So I would still say that it's one of the larger toy shows in the South as far as space goes. Maybe not, but we got some great if you're into vintage stuff, we've got some great vintage. Our friends from let's see, Jerry Brand will be there. Our friends from the that had that toy will be there. They're bringing vintage stuff. We're gonna have we just added Joey and Johnny back in. They might only be there for the day. I don't know. We'll see. That they're gonna have somebody else man their booth on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. All right. So that is the show this weekend. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is you guys have probably seen that I'm working towards and I'm going to talk about actually a better before I talk about the stuff that we're going to have there. I'm going to finish talking about the Lakeland show. So if you're a vendor and you're on here, if you're a vendor, we are going to have, I'm going to send out, what I have to do is I've added a lot of vendors in the last weekend while I was gone. I added a bunch to fill in some gaps. And so what I need to do is I need to make sure I have everybody on my list that I'm going to send out, do a blast for the setup information. Okay. But basically setup is at the RP Funding Center after 2:00 on Friday. If it's going to be before that, then I'll let you know. But I believe unless something has changed, TK should be there and helping us out on Friday. We'll be working on setting things up on Friday. So I'm supposed to get my large. I don't have a picture to share real quick with you guys. But I made a post. I'm supposed to have my large blow up thing tomorrow is what I'm thinking, and then I'm going to test it out. So you might see me post a video or whatever, maybe a picture of it. I think I'm gonna try to pull it out once it gets here and set up in my yard. But the goal is to have it out by the road. Actually, I've got a generator and all that, so. I'm hoping to have that. So again, vendors, Friday setup after 2, or our normal time on Saturday morning, which is 6:30, and 6:30 a.m. And then we open at 9. So we're open at 9 to 4. Pricing, I've had a lot of people ask me about pricing. Pricing is the same as our every other 2-day show that we run, which is $15 on Saturday, $10 on Sunday. And then kids are still free. We're going to have Pokemon packs and Hot Wheels, on both days there. Now we're going to also have this added thing, which I did show a little bit of last week. Okay. That I'm working on. I'm still working out the details of what all is going to be involved or bonuses or whatever. But for right now, 2025, we're going to have this, the super collector pack. Now, besides that, let me go ahead and get our bag. Want to remind everybody that, sorry guys, that we are giving out our bags. This is the blue color now this year. I think the logo stands out pretty good. Okay. We will be giving these out, but it's going to be like, I think 200 bags, I think 250 on Saturday, and then 150 or so on Sunday. And it'll be like one per family kind of a thing. So it's not going to be like, if you have 4 people show up, we're going to give out 4. We want to try to get it so more the people are there. Okay. But in addition to that, we are going to have our super collector, our super collector package, which is going to include our super collector t-shirt, which I don't have the front there to show, but here's one here. Let me go ahead and just remove that there, and I'll show this. So this is black, okay, and then on the back it says super collector. Okay, this is a small, actually. So I did get some smaller sizes. And what for now, what we're going to do is, so you get the t-shirt, you get the lanyard that's exclusive to this, this kit. And then you get a lanyard card, okay, that is like basically it's for the rest of the year. You see it's dated here. And then it'll have, I mean, this is the kind of, so this is this year's card. So then on the back, it says you want to bring this to every show, okay? Because what it does is it gets you in early, all right? Now, what does that mean? What does early mean? Early means once my wife or Lisa or whoever's running the front is ready to sell. So what happens is right, let's say 8:30ish, 8:15, would you say, Lisa?
Yeah, usually between 8:15.
Yeah, somewhere around 8:15 she starts pre-selling the tickets for any line that's there.
Usually closer to 8:30.
So the minute so as soon as that happens, we're going to let the super collectors in, basically. So the minute we can take money, because what this comes with right now in the future, I'm going to make changes for next year. But right now, this is going to be, I think we're going to stick with $59, basically $60. Okay. And you get a t-shirt, you get the lanyard card, and you get the lanyard. Okay. Now, what you get for that is you get early access to every show. So you'll get in at least, I'm going to say at least a half an hour early, maybe 40 minutes. But that's what we're going to do right now because we can manage that. And then we're going to offer discounts on merch, and we're also going to have a discount on the door. Okay. It's going to be between 10 and 20% on each of those. We're still working out what that's going to be. But now in the future, we're going to have for 2026, what we're going to do is I'm going to come up with an added thing where you if people renew, they're going to have some of our super vendors have their name on these badges, because I had their names when I ordered the lanyards. So so then so anyway, if you renew, I think in December when I send out the emails, so we'll need to collect this isn't just a thing where you're gonna just buy this. We're gonna need to have your name and everything, so we know who is part of this group. Okay. And then that way, what we can do is when I send out the renewal, we'll have next year's version will have your name on it if you renew in December. And then I'm also going to be adding in things. I'm thinking about doing a raffle that is exclusive to Super Collector. What we may do is we may have Super Collector bucks. Sometimes I give out gift certificate things, which we may do this weekend in the bags. And then have giveaways and special things for Super Collector. So it's not going to just be just this package. And then the renewal will probably be, because that's for a whole year, the renewal will be more. Okay. So, yeah. Now what I will say, I don't have that here, for super vendors. If you're a super vendor, let me go ahead and remove that. Let me see if I can go ahead and, find that real quick. Well, I'm not going to be able to, but let me see what I can do. Of course, I'm not able to. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try to show the other lanyard that we're getting. And that one I'm going to give out to super vendors as part of their. Let's see if I can share this now. I'll share screen. Okay, and so this doesn't really show you. I mean, I guess that does. Now I just noticed that these are not the right width. I wanted them wider, but let's see how they come out. So basically, this is a lanyard that I'll be giving out to all the super vendors to go with their super vendor badge. However, I will be selling some of these. I'll talk to my wife about, what we're going to do. The goal originally, I wanted to have lanyard cards that were an anniversary lanyard card that would go with this as part of the bag and everything, and have like a VIP package, but I just wasn't. There might be. I think what we need to do, Mark, is come up with a badge that is who makes the most money badge.
Oh, he even did that. There's not even a race for that.
Well, who knows? You never know. I mean, there was a couple other guys that cool, man. We'll sell it to you. We'll sell it to you there, William. Thanks, Andy.
So question.
Yeah.
Can your super vendors buy the super collector membership?
I think so. Why not?
Okay.
Lisa's asking us if a super vendor can buy. Anybody can buy this. Yeah, that's cool. Anybody can buy this. Diana, what I did is I had planned on ordering new super vendor, and I'll have those probably for the next show that you're at. I plan on ordering more super vendor t-shirts. I just in the last month, this is I feel really weird saying this, but I am
You dropped the ball.
No, I could have ordered them, okay, but the reality is, guys, is I know it seems like, you see my room and everything, and you may think that I just have unlimited funds. I do not have unlimited funds. So I have to make choices just like everybody else on what I'm going to get. And I focused on getting some merch for customers. I want to give a shout out. I know this is way in the video, and they might even not even know that I did this or whatever, and that's fine. But I want to give a shout out to Tony and Heather that come to a lot of shows, and them saying, them kind of poking me sometimes, about them being there is kind of one of the inspirations about the super collector. The other thing too is I found that vendors really like the idea of the super vendor badge, that it's not, it's an earned thing. So when you see super vendor badge at our show, it's not, those aren't new vendors. Those are people that have been with us with at least 10 shows, and they've been or they've been with us for more than a couple of years. They've vended with us, so they know the drill. They're serious vendors. So super vendor means something, and I don't just, it's not something that they can buy. It's an earned thing. So so what I did was I thought, our customers that come, like on a regular basis, we have customers like Heather and Tony that come, to multiple locations, drive to multiple cities. Let's see. Okay, let me go in. The venue had a few giant carts. I'm going to assume that those are still there. I mean, it's the same space. We're in the same exact space. We're using the exact same dock. and all that. Yeah, Dan, eventually you will get there. You were on your way. You skipped a few, but we'll see. All right. To my shows. Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. Maybe they'll be jealous of the super collector if you get it there. So again, we'll have the super collector thing. I'm going to try to put it online by tomorrow, where people can buy it online. If you end up coming, okay, if you end up coming and I don't have, let's say I don't have the t-shirts size that you want, okay, because I ordered a whole box. It's not here, but I mean I ordered a bunch. I think, and so I will have plenty of lanyards and cards. So if you don't end up getting a t-shirt for some reason, I will ship it to you, after the show, because where I get these, I can have it directly shipped once I order the shirt for you. So, so if we don't have them on hand, don't freak out. You'll get your lanyard and the card, and then the t-shirt can be shipped to you. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So I want to go ahead and, again, so this weekend, I want to reiterate that we're going to have, Eddie here, Susanna, and, now again, I don't know a lot about, Mr. Sidem here, but I think he's been over at a Coco show, so I'm not sure. But I saw him when the lady hit me up about being there. I see that he was at the New York Comic Con, and he is a well-known guy. So hopefully, so I'm not a comic guy, as Tom Roth says. So, but which he's right. But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate art and everything. But in comic art and stuff. And then Brutus will be with us on Saturday, most likely Saturday only. That's, he did contact us about coming out, and so we are going to have a space for him there. Usually on a 2-day show, he only does Saturday. Okay. Let's see. Now, yeah, you did, yes, Friday night setup after 2 p.m. So like 2 to 9 or whenever, we're done, because I live down the street. And then vendors, there is a get together at my house after the show on Saturday. Okay. And so that's our normal thing. And then August, you missed me talking about how big the show is here, and then and you can always watch the video. Yeah, exactly. My wife says. Thanks, Andy. Try to be as informative as I can there. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the schedule here. Basically, I think I'm at the end with vendors here on the. If you want to sign up, maybe if you sign up by tomorrow, I might have a couple aisles left, but that is it. I am at the end. And then Fort Myers, I have plenty of space, or I have some aisles. I'm lying about that. That I think I got like 2 walls maybe, and then the rest are all aisle tables. So if you're interested in that, I do still have space for that show. And I understand that it's a drive for people. I get it. And it's 2 days and all that. I get all that. But but the reality is we've had great crowds there. And so they deserve a show like this. Bradenton is completely new. And so that is, I'm going to be sharing a hotel link for that. The lady reminded me that I haven't, gotten any hotel reservations. So I need to send that out. And then Jacksonville, I know that's on another show up north is going on then. So on that date, some people are going, but I think I still have a couple. So I missed out on Mikado. I think Mikado is doing that show. But anyway, I'm not going to go into what names of the other shows and all that. And then Kissimmee sold out. Daytona, I just posted So I need to change this to actually happen. And then Port St. Lucie is up on Aventini, and then this week I'll be adding the Tampa show. Okay, let's go over a couple thing here. Nobody, no. Well, actually, no, John, not right now. I don't know if Brutus is coming back or not. Someone else asked that. That's all up to him. He just him or his wife contacts us. I'm going to go back to. We get this every show. My wife laughs. Actually, she doesn't laugh, but we get this same thing every show. I'm giving wrestlers a break for the moment and getting other people, but I will be swinging back to getting some. It's just they're very expensive now. The guarantees, a lot of them, unless they're local, even the ones that are local, okay, are expensive. Who is local that I was gonna get? That was the Bird guy, Coco Beware, I think, is local, and I think he was like 4,000 guarantee, and I was having a 1-day show, so that ain't gonna work. And thanks, Kaz. I'm gonna eventually here have a lead for you on a sale. Not for me right yet, but yeah. And Dutch. Hopefully Dutch comes down to Jacksonville. Hopefully you're doing all right, because I know you're having some health issues, and I miss seeing you. Hopefully you're doing okay. I appreciate you coming on, and yeah, you're right about that, August. I just been busy setting up all these shows and getting the vendors sold, so I haven't been able to get over there, but I will be doing that. Let's see. I just want to make sure I've covered everything. So our schedule, I'm going to start adding stuff for once we get through a couple more shows, I'll start adding 2026 here. It's going to be very similar to this year. I think the major change is that we're going to definitely try to do Panhandle shows, and we're going to be doing only one Star Wars. So it's going to be similar to this year, where we'll do probably 24 shows. We're going to try to avoid doing four weeks in a row, but yeah. I know. Thanks, John. Who ran shows, they aren't cheap. Yeah. What it is, like to give you an idea, the Coco Beware guy, I think he was 4,000 guarantee, so that would have been, if he's local, so that may have worked. But I've had to pay out on a couple people, and it's not fun. It's not fun, because we don't necessarily get. Yeah, he was a nice guy. But I think he needs somebody with him, to really to do well. So, all right, guys. Well, again, we will be there this weekend. I'm hoping to use my carpets this week. I mean, in the last, again, the super vendor t-shirts, I'm going to have more of those, but I got t-shirts, super collector pack, super lanyards for everybody, and the bags, and then I got this big blow up thing. That thing is I'm a little bit, I think I overdid it, maybe with the sides. We'll see though. And then all of that stuff, it just all adds up. And then maintaining and Sergeant Slaughter, actually, August, we'll have him back. People with product make money. I don't have to worry about their guarantee. I just have to worry about their expenses. And so he wasn't that big of a deal to manage, other than, I had to fly him in and fly his manager in. And then, they got 2 different rooms, and then you can put them up in 3 nights and all that stuff. It adds up to a lot of costs. So, and the reality is people just, I think with him, we saw some people that, came for him, but in general, most people don't come for the guests at our show, and so it's kind of just like a cherry on a Sunday. It's not the Sunday, So anyway, all right, guys. Let's see. I will see you later, in the week. I'll try to post some video of what I've got going. I've got tomorrow. I'm going to be I'll be making posts about items, but I gotta be working on getting set up for the show. So and then I'll maybe try to do a room video once I get in there. I'm gonna try to get in there on Thursday and put names on the table and stuff. It's one of the things I like about RP Funding is they're very flexible with me because I live here, and a lot of times. And then there's just a lot of stuff that we're gonna be doing. We will have our cake guy back. We're not going to give out. I don't think we're giving out cake this time. You know, that cake was not cheap, or it's not cheap to do. He gave out last thing here. I guess we gave out 200 servings of cake. Well, we'll have him back there, and we'll have him back at the show. And then the other thing I will say on Fort Myers real quick, we will have our friends Daniel Pacina down there, and Daniel and Carlos Pacina is who's coming in down there. It was an easy flight from Chicago for them, and so they'll be down there also. But all right, thanks a lot for coming out and watching. And we will, again, this weekend is our 6th anniversary. This is, when I try to make things as special as possible. So please come on out. I know we've got some great stuff, some great vendors. I mean, I know that I probably say that every time, but the reality is that this is bigger, and I'm bringing out some new stuff of my own. And so come on out and check it out, guys. And I appreciate you being here and watching me, and we'll see you next week, or you may see me later in the week. So have a good evening, guys, and go and check out the what I assume is Tony's Shellhead Toys thing on Facebook, coming up at 9, I believe. So have a good evening. Bye now.